how's everybody doing? Welcome back to Ask That Podcast on YouTube. Now, when I started this roughly 4 years ago in April of 5 years ago, April of 2021, we're in June when I'm filming this. Who knows when it's going on? It was all VHS. I was a big VHS guy. I lived in an area where the VHS well had not been tapped. My area has a higher than average percentage of older retired folks. And a lot of them had VCRs, had VHS tapes. Either didn't get DVDs, or when they passed, their grandkids and kids took the DVD players and DVDs and just donated the VHS at thrift stores and junk stores. So I was picking up stuff really cheap and getting a lot of stuff. So I started with like 5 Tape Fridays, is what I was calling it, and then I started doing just videos here and there. And the whole idea, I'll throw this out there, and I know you watch some of them here and there. The whole idea to do 3-a-week set days was Dale Roy. I can't remember what the fuck is your name on here, Dale? Like, I love the Oilers, XXXOOO or something like that. I don't remember. Metal as fuck. Lemmy is my daddy. I don't remember. Dale was like, do that. So I started doing that. And I was still doing a lot of VHS. And what made me decide to do, Monday, Friday being anything besides comics and Wednesday being comics was another loyal watcher. And you've seen him send many packages and leave many comments. Cody LL was like, dude, I ain't really into comics. We do like 8 comic videos in a row. I'll watch it. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I had no VHS in forever. Well, what happened was this recently, the local thrift store, the only one we really have left, I guess decided they had too much VHS in the back. And I've been told multiple times they had a pile in the back and they would never let me go back there. I'm like, I'll come a day when y'all are not busy. You got like 3 people working. And I promise you, I'll spend at least $20. Just let me go sit back there and have somebody, I'm saying I want to have somebody watch me and let me go through the stuff. They wouldn't do it. So, all right. Well, stuff slowly leaking out because I got a big rack now to go. I got a shelf they're using for nothing but VHS. I got a rack for CDs and DVDs. So we got here Jason X. Evil gets an upgrade. Probably an X video store rental because that sticker there and there. But case is in decent shape. Jason X is a horrifying hoot and a half, easily the most satisfying and entertaining of the series. Anthony Timpone, Fangoria. All rated, of course. There's the tape. And it's not rewound. You see the tapes and shit. I hate when they started just printing it on there. This is one of the ones where, now I had seen, start with the first one, all the Friday 13th in the theater. I was lucky to have an uncle who loves horror movies and science fiction and comics. I mean, him and I have so much in common, and I don't really get to see him that often, which sucks. But our relationship's more, hey, when he comes up to visit, hey, I hand him like a big ass bag full of comics and DVDs. Like, here's something to keep you entertained until next time I see you. Yeah. He'd take me to the movies. So I went and saw all the Friday 13th with him up until, want to say 6 was the first one I remember not seeing with him because I went with my cousin and his mom, which his mom was extremely strict, and we were 12, 13 when that movie came out. Thank God there was no nudity in it because she would have flipped out and walked out of the theater. I don't remember seeing nudity in 6. 7 or 8's the first one I saw by myself, like riding with some friends while my uncle. So, excuse me, shit. Oof. By the time this one came out, I was living way away from my uncle. And I remember it was like months before this came out, a buddy of mine, back in, this is, when did this come out, like 2000, 2001? When the early days of high-speed internet, getting outside of major cities in the U.S. Everybody always had a friend that had it. They probably paid through the nose for it, probably paying like, a lot. Their data limit speed wasn't super fast. But you always had the buddy who could get a hold of movies, like as soon as they popped up at the theater, sometimes before, there'd be cam rips and all that shit, bootlegs. This buddy got a hold of Jason X probably 6 to 8 months before this thing hit theaters. And we watched it. It was like a VCD. So he burned it as a VCD and he's trying to figure out how to, excuse me. He's like, well, we can't all sit around the computer. My monitor's tiny. This is back in the days when you had big, chunky monitors. This thing was, he probably had a 15-inch monitor. I'm like, okay, I'm thinking about it. And his roommate had this big-ass, like, probably 60-inch rear projection TV he'd had for years. This house, it was, according to what year it was and what month, there could be as many as 8 people living in this house, everybody chipping in, paying for rent and groceries and shit. or as little as 3. It was like a big bachelor pad. One guy kind of owned it. He had this big ass TV living room, and he had, so they could have all the different game systems. He had a big ass like connector box, switcher box, back before you could find it. Like it was custom made. This is quite a long time ago. So we hooked up, we picked up my buddy's computer tower and his like keyboard and mouse. Shit, brought out the loader, hooked that shit up to that box, and had it hooked to the TV on this big ass projector TV. Watches blurry as shit fucking VCD. And the funny thing is, like, after I got through watching, I was like, dude, let me borrow this one. I want to see. We'll watch it at my house on my computer. Okay, cool. Well, I got home. Let me try some. I threw it in my DVD player and it played perfect. Motherfucker, it played in his DVD player. Jason X. Okay, it's in the future. This like team of, I'm assuming they're college students. They might be high school, but hopefully they're college. Land on Earth, Earth's been abandoned. It's all messed up. They find Jason's frozen body. David Cronenberg is here. Lexa Doig's here. They bring Jason back up to the ship. He revives and somebody's having sex and just goes nuts killing people. And you got the great kills like where he takes this girl and grabs her by the back of the head and shoves her face into like liquid nitrogen, and the freezer brings it and just slams it on the camera. It goes everywhere. But the scene, because by this time, everybody heard the legend rumors about how Part 7 got eviscerated and the sleeping bag kill was really cut down. Jason goes into like their hollow deck. They call it something else because they can't call it a hollow deck. Goes in there and there's a brunette, like a dark haired girl, and a dirty blonde girl. Kind of dressed like late 70s style. They whip off their tops. Hey, do you want to do drugs and have premarital sex? Let's smoke some pot. Jason stuffs both of them in a fucking sleep bag, like slams them against the tree 8 or 9 times. It's not a great movie, but none of the Friday 13th are. This was a nice change of pace after, this was the 8th film in the fucking series. No, sorry, 9th. I'm going to say next. Jason X, dumbass. 9th, and then, we've had 2 more since. We have Freddy vs. Jason, which happens before this. And then we had the Friday the 13th remake. We ain't had shit in the franchise since then. And I picked this up just because I have this on DVD. I might keep it, I might not. I'm going to end up watching and see what it looks like. And I got a buddy here in town that loves horror. He loves VHS. And he's of the right age where, like, he was there for the tail end of VHS. Like, he was a little kid in VHS style. Like, little kid. He was probably about 5 or 6 when the family got a DVD player and started getting DVDs. So I might end up hooking him up with this if I end up not wanting to keep it. But I love that cover. That cover's nice. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Trip back to VHS days. You know what I'm gonna end it with? Motherfucker had this before me. You weren't kind. You didn't rewind. You left the movie. I bet you they left the movie with some titties. Here's a little trick I'm gonna throw out there for everybody that's still doing VHS. You can't do this with DVDs. This is a thing, kids out there, young people who did not grow up with VHS renting them. This is how you knew you'd rented a movie from the video store, been out for a little while. You're getting ready to either see something incredibly violent, gory, or nudity. The tape started looking like ass. Because that meant that part of the tape had been watched, rewound, slow mode, pause, all this shit so many times. If you have a working VCR, you ever find a X rental copy of Fast Times at Ridgemont High, get the tape, look at the VCR, and go to a couple of seconds before Phoebe Cates pops up out of the pool and pops her top off, that tape's going to look like ass. And there's other private schools and little Porkies, shit like that. But I'm out, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. Remember, if you did, give me that thumbs up. Leave a comment, subscribe. All that other bullshit. Talk to everybody later. Bye-bye, suckers.